The alien warship Voristar floated silently above a dead and broken planet. Its gray surface was cracked, dry, and lifeless, like something had drained all hope from it long ago. Around the ship, the sky looked dark, almost like space itself was warning anyone who came near. Inside the warship, the halls were quiet. Only the soft hum of machines could be heard. A young alien officer named Rollin walked quickly toward the command room. His sharp blue eyes were full of concern. He had important news and he needed to deliver it fast. As the doors to the command chamber opened, he froze. There, standing near the large window, was Commander Vexer, one of the oldest and most respected leaders of their empire. But this day he did not look strong. He was trembling. His four-fingered hands shook as he held onto the metal railing. His face looked pale, and his breathing was uneven, as if he had seen something terrifying. Rollin had never seen the commander like this. Not once. "Commander Vexer, are you well?" Rollin asked carefully. The old commander did not look at him. His eyes stayed fixed on the dead planet below, as if the empty world reminded him of a nightmare he could not forget. Rollin stepped forward. "Commander, I have news about the humans." At the word humans, Vexer finally turned his head, slowly, as if the name itself was painful. "What news?" he whispered. Rollin held a data tablet in his hand. "Humans are expanding faster than our estimates. They are building stations in Sector 9, and their ships are moving closer to our borders. If we attack now, we will have the advantage. Their technology is still behind ours." The moment he said this, Commander Vexer's eyes widened with fear, a deep, shaking fear that made Rollin step back. Then the commander shouted, his voice cracking. "Never attack the humans. You will not escape alive." Rollin felt stunned. He had expected a strategic discussion, not a terrified outburst. "But, Commander, humans look weak. Their bodies are small. Their ships are slow. In a battle, we will win within." "No." Vexer slammed his hand on the console. "You do not understand, Rollin. You have never faced them. You have never seen what they become in war." Rollin blinked. "What do you mean?" "They have lower strength. Their science is less advanced. Why should we fear them?" Vexer closed his eyes as if remembering something he wished he could forget forever. "Humans are not dangerous because of strength," he said quietly. "They are dangerous because of something far worse than strength." Rollin waited, confused. What is worse than strength? But before the commander could answer, the room lights turned red. Alarms began to echo through the ship like a heartbeat of danger. "Alert! Alert! Distress signal detected. Origin, Fleet 7. One of the officers at the control station yelled, "Commander! We are receiving a message from Fleet 7. Their signal is weak." Commander Vexer's face turned pale. "Put it on the main screen." Static filled the large display. Broken audio crackled through the speakers. Then a terrified voice spoke. "This is Fleet 7, we entered human territory, and oh stars, they are not supposed to be this." The signal cut suddenly. The room went completely silent. Rollin felt cold. Something about that unfinished sentence made his skin tighten. "They vanished?" Just like that. The officer confirmed, "Their locator beacons are gone." Every ship in Fleet 7 disappeared at the same moment. Rollin shook his head in disbelief. "How is that possible? Humans do not have weapons strong enough to erase a full fleet." Vexer whispered, "You think humans need strong weapons to win?" Rollin turned toward him. "Commander, please explain. Why are you so scared of them?" Commander Vexer walked slowly toward him. His old steps echoed in the silent chamber. "Years ago," he began, "I led an attack on a small human colony. We believed it would be an easy victory. We thought humans were weak, emotional, fragile creatures." He stared directly into Rollin's eyes. "We were wrong." Rollin swallowed. "What happened?" Vexer looked toward the window again. "Humans sent us a message. Only one sentence, turn back." Rollin frowned. "They threatened us?" "No," Vexer whispered. "They warned us." Rollin felt a chill run down his spine. Commander Vexer continued, "We ignored the warning. We pushed forward. And then, humans fought us like nothing I had ever seen. They do not run. They do not fear pain. They do not fear death. When cornered, they become something else, something unstoppable." Rollin said nothing. He was listening with full attention now. Vexer finished with a trembling voice. "Once you attack a human, they will chase you across the stars until one of you is gone forever. Humans do not forget. Humans do not forgive." Rollin stepped back. His heart was beating faster. He finally understood why the commander trembled. The vanished fleet. The warning. The fear. Something was coming. Something far bigger than they expected. Roland looked at the red alarms flashing on the walls. "Commander, what do we do now?" Vexor whispered. "Pray that humans do not come for us next." The red alarm lights continued to flash inside the Voristar. The sound echoed through the command room like a heartbeat getting faster and faster. Roland stood frozen, his mind trying to understand the nightmare that was slowly unfolding around him. Fleet 7 had vanished. Not defeated. Not damaged. Vanished. Roland turned toward Commander Vexor. The old leader still stared out of the window, his hands tight around the railing, as if he was trying to hold himself together. "Commander," Roland said quietly, "what you said earlier, was it real? Humans will chase anyone who attacks them." Vexor's voice was soft but heavy. "Yes. And if Fleet 7 attacked first, then humans will not stop." Roland felt a strange pressure in his chest. "But Commander, we do not even know what happened. Maybe it was a system error. Maybe their signal." The communications officer cut him off. "No, sir. It was not an error. We detected energy signatures before the fleet vanished." "What kind?" Roland asked. The officer swallowed nervously. "Unknown." That single word made the entire room fall silent. Commander Vexor closed his eyes slowly. "Unknown technology, humans must have used something new." Roland shook his head. "But how? Humans are behind us in science. They don't have the power to erase a whole fleet." Vexor whispered, "Humans don't need power. They need motivation. And we gave them motivation." He turned to Roland, his eyes dark. "Listen carefully. You must know the truth before the days ahead. You asked me what happened to my fleet years ago. You asked why I fear humans." Roland nodded slowly. "Yes. I need to understand." Vexor took a deep breath and finally began the story he had kept locked inside his mind for many cycles. 20 years ago, Vexor said, I was the commander of the 5th Conquest Fleet. We were strong, unstoppable, respected by the entire empire. When the Council ordered us to take control of a small human colony, we thought it would be simple. He paused, remembering. It was not simple. It was the beginning of our nightmare. Roland leaned closer. "What did you face?" Vexor continued. "When we reached the human colony, we found only small towns and farms. No defenses. No warships. Nothing that could challenge us. We prepared to attack." Roland frowned. "And then?" "Then," Vexor said, "we received a message from the humans. Only one sentence." Roland repeated the words he had heard earlier, "Turn back." Vexor nodded. "Yes." Sounded like fear. But it was not fear. It was a promise. Roland looked confused. "A promise?" The commander's voice became cold. "Humans always give a warning before they fight. And when you ignore their warning, they become something you cannot escape." Roland's spine felt tight. "What happened after you attacked the colony?" Vexor's face darkened. "We destroyed the colony. Or at least we thought we did. But humans do not fight like us. They do not wait for orders. They do not run when hopeless. They become more dangerous when there is no chance of victory." His voice trembled slightly. "They fought us with fire, with metal, with bare hands if needed. They fought until the last breath. Even when injured, they refused to fall. They do not understand surrender." Roland whispered, "That sounds impossible?" Vexor shook his head. "Impossible? No. Humans do something even worse. They adapt. Every minute they learn. Every battle they evolve. Our weapons worked once, then they found ways to counter them. Our strategies worked once, then they predicted them." Roland felt his stomach twist. "But Commander, how did you escape?" The old alien closed his eyes. "I did not escape. I fled. And even then, I barely made it." The room was quiet as Vexor continued. "When we tried to retreat, humans followed. Not immediately, not in groups. No. They sent one ship. A small one. Weak-looking. Alone." Roland frowned. "One small ship chased your entire fleet?" "Yes," Vexor whispered. "And it never stopped." The command room felt colder. "It followed us through nebula storms. Through asteroid fields. Even through warp space. It kept coming. Every time we thought we escaped, it appeared again." "How?" Roland asked, shocked. "I don't know," Vexor said. "But humans have something inside them. A fire. A force. A promise to never let their enemy escape." Roland finally understood the meaning behind the warning. "So, you believe humans hunted Fleet 7 too?" Vexor nodded slowly. "Yes. And if Fleet 7 attacked first, humans will come for us next. Before Roland could respond, another officer shouted from the controls. Commander, we have a new signal. It's coming from the border of human space. Vexor's heart stopped for a moment. Put it on screen. Static filled the air again. Then a single message flashed across the screen in simple human English. This is your final warning. Do not enter our space again. Nothing more. Nothing less. Roland whispered, Commander, this is the same message you received years ago. Vexor nodded slowly. Yes. And last time we ignored it. He stared at Roland, fear burning in his old eyes. My entire fleet died. Roland felt the weight of those words like a shadow falling over him. Then what do we do now? He asked. Vexor answered without looking away from the screen. We prepare. Because humans never give a warning twice. Commander Vexor stared at the screen as the human message faded away. This is your final warning. Those words echoed inside the command room like a cold wind. Roland felt his throat tighten. He had never feared another species before. The alien empire had fought many enemies, stronger, larger, more advanced, but none had ever made a commander tremble. And yet, the humans had done it with only one sentence. Roland broke the silence. Commander, if humans never give a second warning, then doesn't this mean? Yes, Vexor replied softly. It means they are ready for war. The room grew still. Every officer looked toward the commander, waiting for orders. But Vexor did not speak. He was thinking, no, he was remembering. Roland stepped closer. Commander, you need to tell us everything. We cannot prepare for a threat we don't understand. Vexor's old eyes shifted toward him. Understanding humans, that is the hardest task in the galaxy. Then start with anything, Roland insisted. Vexor took a deep, heavy breath. Very well. Gather the senior officers. They need to hear this too. Within minutes, the command room filled with ranking officials. Every seat was taken. The atmosphere felt tense, like the air before a violent storm. Vexor walked slowly to the center, his steps echoing. He began speaking. Humans, Vexor said, are a paradox. Everything about them appears weak. They are small. Their bones break easily. Their lifespans are short. Their technology is young. Murmurs filled the room. Many aliens had the same confusion that Roland had earlier. Vexor continued, but their weakness, it is only on the surface. Inside, humans carry something far more dangerous. An officer raised a hand. What exactly, Commander? Vexor turned to him. Adaptation. Humans adapt to everything. The officer frowned. Adaptation? Many species can adapt. Not like humans, Vexor interrupted. Humans adapt faster than any life form we have encountered. They turn problems into strengths. Pain becomes fuel. Loss becomes rage. Fear becomes courage. He walked across the room slowly, his voice calm but heavy. They are unpredictable. Their emotions are their weapons. When humans feel threatened, they learn faster. When humans feel cornered, they fight harder. When humans feel angry. He paused. They become unstoppable. Roland listened closely. His mind replayed the human message again and again. There was no threat in it. No shout. No anger. It was calm, too calm. Vexor continued, humans think differently from us. They do not wait for orders when danger appears. They do not follow traditional patterns. A human soldier will change tactics in the middle of a fight. A human pilot will break formation if it gives even a 1% chance of victory. Another officer asked, but how does this explain the disappearance of Fleet 7? Vexor sighed. Humans learn from every experience. If we found a weakness in their ships years ago, they have already fixed it. If we understood their battle style before, they have already changed it. They fight wars like puzzles, solving them step by step until the enemy has no solution left. Roland whispered, so they adapted to us, and now they are ready. Yes, Vexor said. And that is why Fleet 7 stood no chance. The entire room felt like it was sinking into fear. Suddenly the doors burst open. A young technician ran inside, panting. Commander. We finished analyzing the last signal from Fleet 7. Vexor nodded. Show us. The lights dimmed. A hologram appeared, static at first, then slowly forming into the final seconds of Fleet 7's transmission. A deep voice spoke through the distortion. They came out of nowhere, fast, too fast we can't track them, they are inside the ship. Screams. Metal tearing. Weapons firing. Then silence. Roland clenched his fists. They boarded the ships that quickly? The technician shook his head. No, sir. That's the strange part. The human ships never touched Fleet 7. Our sensors show zero physical contact. Roland looked confused. Then how did humans get inside? We don't know, the technician said. But whatever humans did, it was fast enough to take every ship in less than 20 seconds. A shiver ran through the room. 20 seconds. A whole fleet gone. Roland stared at the hologram and something inside him shifted. Humans weren't acting like a defensive species anymore. They were hunting. He looked at Vexor. Commander, what do humans want? Vexor answered without hesitation. Survival. And revenge. Roland frowned. Revenge for what? For every colony we touched. For every warning we ignored. For every life we destroyed when we believed they were too weak to fight back. The room fell silent again. Roland spoke slowly. Then we need to find a way to talk to them. We need peace. Vexor lowered his head. Humans accept peace. But only with those who respect their warnings. And we have already crossed that line. Roland felt a chill. So, what now? Vexor turned toward the large bridge window, staring into the empty stars. Now, he said, we try to understand the humans before they reach us. Because once they come, there will be no time left. A soft beep broke the silence. The communications officer looked at his screen and whispered in shock. Commander, a human ship just appeared at the edge of the system. Roland's heart stopped. It had begun. A heavy silence fell across the command room as the words echoed. Commander, a human ship just appeared at the edge of the system. Every officer froze. Even the lights seemed dimmer. Roland felt his heartbeat thudding in his chest. Until now, everything had been reports, signals, distant warnings. But this was real. A human ship had arrived. Vexor straightened his back, forcing calm into his voice. Show it on the main screen. The holographic display flickered, then cleared. And the alien officers gasped. A single human ship floated in the darkness, small, dark, and quiet. No weapons visible. No escort ships. No sign of aggression. Roland frowned. It's only one? Why would they send one ship? Vexor did not answer. His expression tightened. The communications officer whispered, Commander, the human ship is not powering weapons. No shields activated. No combat signals. Another officer added, Are they observing us? Roland felt something strange in his chest. Commander, this is the same thing you said happened years ago. Humans sent one ship to follow you. Vexor nodded slowly. Yes. When humans send one ship, it is never alone. It means they are watching. Studying. Roland swallowed. Studying us for what? Vexor replied, to decide our fate. For several minutes no one said anything. The ship drifted silently at the edge of the system, unmoving, like a predator waiting for the right moment. Finally Vexor spoke. Open a diplomacy channel. Perhaps they want to talk. The officer hesitated. Commander, humans rarely talk first. We must try, Vexor said. A soft ringing sound filled the room as the system attempted to connect. Once, twice, 3 times. No response. Roland whispered, Commander, what if the humans are not here for peace? Vexor sighed. Then they would have attacked by now. Humans do not hide their intentions. If they want war, they come with fire. Roland nodded slowly. He remembered the recording from Fleet 7. The screams. The chaos. But this ship, it wasn't attacking. It wasn't even moving. Almost like it was waiting. Suddenly the door to the command room opened. A tall alien with dark red markings entered. Warlord Krezen, leader of the Empire's most aggressive battle faction. Roland's eyes narrowed. Krezen was known for one thing. He hated humans and believed the Empire should crush them before they grew stronger. Krezen looked at the screen and smirked. That small ship? That is what humans send to threaten us. Commander Vexor turned sharply. Krezen, this is not the time for pride. That ship is here for a reason. Yes, Krezen said. To show us how weak humans still are. Roland felt anger rise in him. You do not understand humans. You haven't seen what they... Krezen raised a hand to silence him. Enough. Our empire cannot fear a species whose technology is behind ours. Fleet 7 probably malfunctioned. Humans are not responsible. Vexor's voice grew ice cold. You fool. Fleet 7 did not malfunction. Humans destroyed them. Krezen laughed loudly. And you believe that because a weak species sent you a warning message? It is not the message, Vexor growled. It is the pattern. Humans warn once. Attack later. They never bluff. Krezen stepped toward the screen. Then I will test that. I will send a strike team to capture that human ship. The entire room shook with shock. Rollin stepped forward. No. That will start a war. Crescent smirked. War is exactly what we need. Humans have grown confident. It is time we remind them who holds power in this galaxy. Commander Vexor shouted, "You will do no such thing." But Crescent already turned toward the door. "My ships are ready. And your fear has weakened this empire long enough." He left without another word. Rollin stared at Vexor. "Commander, can we stop him?" Vexor closed his eyes. "No. Crescent has control over his own faction's fleet. I cannot override him." Rollin felt helpless. "Then what will happen?" Vexor whispered, "The same thing that happened to my fleet, and the same thing that destroyed Fleet 7. Minutes later, alarms rang across the warship as Crescent's strike fleet launched. Rollin and the others watched the screen as 10 alien attack ships flew toward the lone human vessel. Their engines burned bright, leaving trails of blue light behind them. The human ship did not move, did not prepare to defend, did not send a message. It simply waited. Rollin felt the atmosphere tighten. "This is wrong," he said. "Too quiet," Vexor agreed. One of the alien officers whispered, "Commander, the human ship just scanned us." Vexor nodded. They were waiting. Humans always wait for proof of hostility. Once the strike team gets too close. Rollin finished the sentence for him. "The humans will respond." The alien attack ships formed an attack formation. 5 seconds to engagement. 4, 3, 2. Rollin watched, heart pounding. At the final second, the human ship activated. No lights, no weapons, no warning. Just movement. Fast. Impossible. It vanished. Then reappeared behind the alien strike team. Rollin gasped. "Teleportation?" Vexor whispered, "No. Something even faster." The human ship released a pulse, silent, invisible. The alien ships froze mid-flight. Then, every sensor went dark. Every engine shut down. The strike team drifted lifelessly. Not destroyed. Just defeated instantly. Rollin felt his chest tighten. No casualties, but total shutdown. They disabled all ships in 1 second. Vexor nodded. "This is the new humans. And now, Crescent has given them a reason to come for all of us." He turned to the crew. "Prepare for consequences." The human ship sent a single new message to the entire system. "Second warning delivered. Do not test us again." Rollin whispered, trembling. "Commander, humans don't give second warnings." Vexor stared at the screen, horror growing in his eyes. "No," he said. "They don't." He pointed to the message. "This is not a second warning. This is a declaration." The officers swallowed in fear. The war had begun. The message hung on the command room screen like a cold shadow. "Second warning delivered. Do not test us again." Every alien officer in the room could feel it. This was no longer a simple border conflict. This was something far greater, something that had been building for years. Rollin stared at the message, his hands shaking slightly. "Commander," he whispered, "if humans never give second warnings, then why did they send this?" Vexor did not answer right away. His eyes were locked on the glowing text, the fear inside him deepening with every second. Finally he spoke. "Because this is not a warning," he said softly. "This is judgment. The humans have already made their decision." Rollin felt cold. "Then, a war is coming?" Vexor nodded, but his voice trembled. "Yes. And not the kind we have ever faced." The command room erupted into activity. Officers shouted orders, scanned systems, checked location markers. The energy felt frantic, desperate, like the ship itself feared what was coming. A tactical officer shouted from her station. "Commander, Crescent strike ships, they're all still offline. Completely disabled." Rollin shook his head. "No damage? No casualties?" "None," she replied. "Just shut down." Vexor's jaw tightened. Humans always give choices. They didn't destroy the strike team. They want us to understand something. Rollin looked to him. "Understand what?" "That humans don't enjoy war," Vexor said. "But they finish wars." Before anyone could respond, another officer yelled. "Commander, a large object is approaching from human space." The air grew tight. Everyone turned toward the main screen. A shape emerged from the dark. Slow, massive, silent. It was a human warship, but unlike any they had recorded before. This one was enormous, larger than their battle cruisers. Its armor looked thick and old, like it had survived 100 battles. The hull bore no decorations, no symbols, just a single human flag. Roland's breath caught. Is that a dreadnought? Vexor nodded slowly. Yes. Humans only deploy dreadnoughts for one reason. The room fell silent as he finished. Total retaliation. The dreadnought stopped just outside firing range. Not attacking. Not threatening. Waiting. A message flashed again, short, simple, human. Return the captured ships. Leave our territory. No further conflict is required. Roland read the message twice. Commander, this sounds peaceful. Vexor sighed. Yes, for now. Humans always give a peaceful option first. But if we reject it? He looked at Roland with dark eyes. They remove every other option. Suddenly, the command room doors opened with a harsh metallic hiss. Warlord Krezen stormed inside, his face twisted with anger. Commander, why have the humans not been destroyed yet? Why hasn't our fleet attacked? Roland stepped forward angrily. Because your attack failed. They disabled your entire strike force in 1 second. Krezen snarled. A trick? Human technology is weak. There must be an explanation. There is, Vexor said. You provoked a species that does not lose. Silence, old man. Krezen shouted. I will not be lectured by a coward who ran from humans 20 years ago. The room grew still. Roland tensed, expecting Vexor to snap, but the commander only looked tired. Krezen, Vexor said quietly, your pride is going to destroy this empire. My pride. Krezen barked. No. Your fear will destroy us. Watch. He turned to the communications officer. Send a message to the human ship. The officer hesitated. What message, sir? Krezen raised his chin proudly. Tell them their demands are rejected. The Empire does not negotiate with weaklings. Gasps filled the room. Roland grabbed Krezen's arm. Stop. You don't understand. Krezen shoved him away. I understand enough. Humans only survived this long because we allowed it. Today that ends. Roland fell against the console but stood up again. You fool. Too late. The officer, under Krezen's authority, had already sent the message. A sharp alert beeped across the room. Message transmitted. Silence followed, the kind of silence that felt alive, heavy, growing. The dreadnought did not move. Roland's heart pounded. Commander, what will they do? Vexor whispered, voice hollow. They will respond. For 10 seconds the dreadnought remained still. Then, it lit up. Blue lines of energy crawled across its hull like awakening veins. The alien ship's sensors picked up massive power surges. Commander, a frightened officer shouted. The human ship is charging an unknown weapon. Roland's voice cracked. Shields up. Raise all shields. But Vexor shook his head. It will not matter. The dreadnought released a single pulse of light. No explosion. No blast. Just a silent wave that swept across space like a calm tidal breath. Every alien screen flickered. Every engine dimmed. Every weapon powered down. The entire warship, every system went dark. A complete shutdown. Roland grabbed the nearest console. What happened? The engineer stammered. Everything is offline, again. Just like Krezen's strike ships. Vexor nodded. Humans are telling us something. One final demonstration. Roland swallowed hard. A demonstration of what? Vexor replied, voice shaking. That they can end us whenever they want. Emergency power flickered back on a minute later. The dreadnought stood unmoving, but its message appeared again. We will not harm you if you retreat now. This is your last peaceful option. Everyone turned to Krezen. His pride was gone. His face had turned pale, eyes wide, fear finally breaking through. He whispered, Commander, what do we do? Roland stared at him. Now you ask. Vexor stepped forward. We take the only choice humans have left us. He turned to the communications officer. Send a reply. The officer nodded, fingers shaking. Vexor spoke his message slowly, clearly. We agree to your terms. The Empire will not enter human territory again. The message was sent. This time the human response came instantly. Peace accepted. A wave of relief washed through the command room. But Vexor remained tense. Roland noticed. Commander, we accepted their offer. The humans should stand down. They will, Vexor said. But humans never forget. And if Krezen's attack was recorded in their memory. He looked toward the dreadnought. Then this is not the end. This is only the beginning of what humans prepare for next. Roland felt the weight of those words settle over him like a heavy shadow. A quiet warning. A calm threat. A coming storm. And above them, the human dreadnought waited, silently watching. The human dreadnought still hovered outside their range, silent and unmoving, like a giant waiting for the Empire's next mistake. Rollin stared at it through the viewing window, a cold shiver running down his spine. "Commander, it's not leaving." Vexor nodded slowly. "No. Humans never leave immediately. They watch. They wait. They make sure we keep our word." Crescent stood behind them, shoulders tense, hands shaking. The arrogant warlord who once believed humans were weak now looked like a frightened child. He whispered, "Commander, will the humans attack anyway?" Vexor didn't answer. Not because he didn't know, but because the answer scared him too. The command room felt like a tomb. Officers moved carefully, as if afraid their movements alone might provoke the human ship. Every beep from a console made someone flinch. Every blinking light felt like a signal for doom. Rollin turned to the commander. "Should we pull back? Retreat to safe space?" "Yes," Vexor said. "Immediately. If the dreadnought wanted us destroyed, we would already be gone. They are giving us the chance to run." He gave the command. "All ships, reverse course. Leave human territory at once." The fleet slowly turned around, engines powering up cautiously, almost respectfully. But Rollin noticed something terrifying. "Commander," he said quietly, "the dreadnought is turning with us." Vexor slowly lifted his eyes. The massive human ship was rotating too, aligning perfectly behind the alien fleet, as if escorting them out. Or guarding them. Or ensuring they didn't dare do anything foolish. "It's following us," Rollin whispered. Crescent swallowed hard. "Is this some kind of threat?" Vexor answered, voice cold. "No. This is a reminder." Minutes turned into hours as the alien fleet retreated. Every officer watched their screens nervously. But the dreadnought never attacked, never moved closer, just followed, silent and patient. When they finally crossed the border out of human space, the dreadnought stopped. Rollin held his breath. "Commander, it's not pursuing us." "No," Vexor said softly. "They said peace was accepted. Humans keep their word." Relief washed over the command room. Officers slumped in their chairs, letting out shaky breaths. But Vexor didn't relax. Rollin noticed. "Commander, what's wrong?" Vexor looked at the screen, at the silent dreadnought still lingering at the border. "Humans accepted peace," he said. "But they do not forget what threatened them." Rollin frowned. "You think they'll come for us later?" "Maybe not now," Vexor said. "Maybe not soon. But someday yes. Humans do not leave loose ends. They prepare. They remember. And they wait for the day someone breaks their peace." Crescent stepped forward slowly. "Commander, what must we do?" Vexor turned to him. "You will stand trial before the Empire for provoking a species that should never be provoked." Crescent's eyes widened. "Trial? But I—" "You endangered the entire Empire for your pride," Vexor said sharply. "You nearly started a war that we could not win." Crescent opened his mouth to argue, but the words died when he looked into Vexor's eyes. There was no mercy there. Only cold truth. Later, when the fleet was safely away, Rollin found the commander alone in the observation room, staring out at the stars. "Sir," Rollin said gently, "you were right. About everything." Vexor did not turn his head. "I wish I had not been." Rollin stepped beside him. "You said humans are dangerous not because of strength but because of something else. Something worse. What is that thing, Commander?" Vexor finally looked at him. His old eyes held a deep, heavy fear. "Humans," he said slowly, "have something no other known species possesses. Something that makes them unstoppable." Rollin leaned in. "What is it?" Vexor whispered the word like a dark secret. "Resolve." Rollin frowned. "Resolve?" "Yes," Vexor said. "Humans do not quit. When they fight until one side is gone. They endure pain no species should survive. They rise when others fall. They adapt faster than we can predict, faster than we can study." He paused. "And when they are attacked, they don't run. They don't hide. They don't stop." Rollin felt a weight growing in his chest. "They chase." Vexor nodded. "Until justice is complete." A deep silence filled the room. Rollin looked back at the border where the dreadnought still waited like a silent guardian. "So this isn't over." "No," Vexor said. "This is only temporary peace. Humans gave us a warning today. A second warning. That means there will never be a third." Rollin swallowed hard. "What happens if someone in the Empire tries attacking humans again?" Vexor stared out into the dark void. "Then humans will come. Not to negotiate. Not to threaten. He turned to Rollin, voice heavy as stone. Next time humans will finish what we started. Rollin shook his head slowly. Commander, what do you think humans really want? What are they preparing for? Vexor answered quietly. Survival. They always prepare for survival. He looked down at the distant human ship. And if the Empire ever pushes them too far? His voice dropped to almost a whisper. Then not even the universe will be enough to help us escape. Far behind them, the human dreadnought finally turned away and slipped back into human space. Silent. Calm. Waiting for the future. But the message it left behind remained etched forever in Rollin's mind. Do not test us again. Rollin understood why now. He understood why the commander feared them. Why the vanished fleets never returned. Why the humans gained victory after victory. Because humans never let their enemies escape. And somewhere deep inside, Rollin felt a chilling truth settle in his bones. The next conflict with humanity would not be a battle. It would be extinction.